Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar about 3D Measure and Extrude using Naviate in Civil 3D. Today it's me and Martin.
Hello.
Thomas and Martin also in, yes. Martin is going to do most of the demos. 3D Measure and Extrude using Naviate for Civil. We say it's 25.2. I'm gonna soon explain the versions we have these features in. As I also said, Martin Olsen and me, Thomas Nilsson, will be the ones presenting today. These commands, 3D Measure and Extrude, we are using the latest version. Most features, practically all, are available in the newly released within the past year or so. 25.1 was this autumn, 24.3, and these versions here, they were released in May 24. However, these commands actually exist in earlier versions as well. So you might be running 22.1 version or so, and you will still find those commands, but they might look different and have different possibilities. Later, or at the end of the demonstration today, I'm going to show a new command that was released as sort of a beta in the very last or latest version. 25.2.3 was released in beginning of February. So most of you most probably do not have that command available. I'll get back to this later. We want to push that we really do encourage you to update to the latest versions. This is due to a license change that we made in these past versions, the ones I present up here. So we recommend you to update to that one, because if you are on 22 to 25 version or 24 versions of previous versions than these, they might be closed during this year, depending on changing licensing system. So we do encourage you to do this. We do not have a specific date, but it can be due to our supplier of a solution. So yeah, please make sure you update this spring or so. If you are on earlier versions, 2019 to 2021, you will have to make sure you have a Flex LM licensing. And the license file must be updated by April 2025. Must. Unless you're on single, then you're good. But if you're on multi-user, you must update that file. Okay, disclaimer, we do live demos. It's to make it more interesting to you. We know that some may run demos like recordings. We really want to have the touch of running live. This means that anything can happen in Windows or in Civil 3D or in Naviate. So please beware, if this happens, it's for your to make it more interesting for you.
Good. Then I will just explain a little bit what we're working with here. So first of all, I have this corridor model. And from this corridor, I have exported some feature line. So they are auto corridor feature line. So if I update my corridor, it will also update the feature lines. So I get the dynamic all the time. And I also got some 2D polylines here that I will use to create some electrical pipes later on. And I got some ugly boxes here that will represent some buildings. So we'll start easy. So I just starting by going to the Naviate Road. You can find these functions both in the landscape model and the Naviate Road tab. But I will use road in this webinar. So I just run the command 3D measure, and then I select this feature line on the right side. So getting this dialog box up. And here are some new features that we can now import templates for our blocks and what settings we want to use. So I will import a setting for some road light just by clicking in that folder icon. And then I got all my templates saved in the support file folder. So now I will use the one that is called road light right, I think it was. So I'll just use that and pick open. And then I get a preview of the block. And another new thing is that we now can use multi-view block, and we're also allowed to use note labels. And so that's also new. And here I can also select if I want to use a start and end block. And when I use this function, press edit there, I can choose what type of block I want to use. And I can also choose start block if I want to make no change, if I want to add a block or replace a block. So if I choose add, I will add an extra block. And if I choose replace, I will replace the standard blocks in the start. And I can also do that for the end. So I will create some guardrail after as well. So I will come back to this function. So here I can choose what method I want to create. Exact interval, even number by segment length. If I use, if I have like a line, it can divide segments so I get the right number of blocks inserted. And I can also use interval direction by chord length if I create like fences or something by radius that I need it to fit. But now I'll just use this exact interval, and for start station I will put a bit in here. So I will change this to 4, start the station number 4. And I want it to be 15 meters interval. And this one is a really nice function. It's a calculator that will calculate so we get an even interval. So here I get 2 alternatives. So first, if I want to put in 9 objects, the distance between them will be 15.83 meters. And if I want 10 objects, it will be 14.24 meters. So I will choose interval 2 here, and it will be inserted in the interval. And here you can see I already got the settings for angle here. So the only thing I need to do is to change the interval, and if I want to edit in settings, I can do that as well. But we can use the preview just to look at how it looks. So I click preview, and I can see I got the right rotation for my lightning poles. But I also want to have them a bit in on the street or the sidewalk. So I just press any key, and then I change the offset. And here I can just, if I want to, I can use trial and error and see what if it should be a positive or negative sign. Here I will have a positive sign because it's on the right side. So I put in 0.6 to get an offset of 0.6 meters. And then I can check preview, take a look. Yeah, it looks good. And go back to my dialog box. And we also have this IFC export as if I want to add property for the EFC export, what the object is. So in this case, it's a IFC light fixture, but I can also see that this was grayed out, and that's because I need to import my EFC property set. So I will start over once again, just cancel this one. I can create it and add it after if I want to. It works as well. But here in the Naviate palette or tab, we got a on the property sets. Import IFC object property set. And then we will import this set for IFC export. It shares some other way to do it, but I find this way, so that's the one I use. So then I go back to road and run this function again. Just pick this line. And it will remember the last settings we used there, so you can see here. Seems like I used another one before, but I can import this template again. Row light right. And I use my offset, and then now you can see this easy export as is enabled. And I can also check add property set. I will just have a last look and see, so it looks good, and add my start station. And also need to change the interval here as well. So. And here when I finish the function, it will get this property dialog box. And here I will use this property set in the corridor. And I can also choose if I want to set property 1 here. And here I can choose from any property in the list. So if I want to set the code, I just pick that one. And then I can choose where to get the value from. Either I can use the layer, the name of the block, or manual text. So if I pick manual text here, I can just specify how I want to code the object. So I pick this one. And then I can also choose what corridor it belongs to and what alignment it belongs to. So I will choose this road and the alignment väglinje. And I use it. Okay. And now I can see it created all my blocks here. See what I get here.
I think you created the 2, right?
Yeah, I think I did as well. So, but this one is a group, and this one is.
And do select similar and remove it.
Yeah, I can do, but see if I can unpick those.
I might. Okay, yeah.
We try this. Yeah, it works. Good. You can also see how easy it is to edit this. So, and now when I have created these lighting poles, I also want to remove some of them. So we have also added the feature to being able to skip objects or detach from the set if you like to do that instead. So I just pick an object to get the settings again, and then I choose skip here. Either I can use the type what station I want to skip, or I can use pick, and then I can choose them graphical. So I want to skip this one and this one. Then I just hit enter, and here I can choose if I want to skip or detach. And you can also choose if you want to remove object or skip or detach in a range. But now I will skip those two. And then I can just take preview here and see how it removes those two. So then I just hit OK. And just accept the property dialog box again. So now I created my lighting poles here. And if I want to choose them individually, I can just drop down onto the measure and pick select as individual instead. And then it allows me to choose what object I want to pick. And I can also show this property. And here I can see that I get the station from the alignment and what corridor it belongs to, and baseline and so on. And this is the set that it adds for IFC. So because you got this property IFC export as IFC light fixture. You can also, if you like to, just choose in this drop down list whatever you want to, if you want to change some objects or anything. So it's pretty nice if you want to create 3D objects along a line, and it's got a lot of different uses, so it's pretty creative and use it however you like. So I will show you another example here. I will create a guardrail next to the ditch here. So I just run 3D Measure again, and now I pick the line on the left side. So I will also import another template. And if you have created and done your settings here and you want to export it, you got this button for save template that you can use, and you save it. It will save it in the support folder. But I will open another template. So I will just choose this guardrail straight metric, if I can find it here. Click open. Just do a preview here. And here is only poles and a start block, and it's also got an end block. But I will also show you that you can do a complete guardrail directly with this function. So I can choose this guardrail. See how it is. It's guardrail right here. This one. Click open on that. So, and just check a preview and see this is complete with both the poles and the fence or the guardrail. So I can see also that this is created in the wrong direction. So if I want to use this, we got both right and left side. But if I want to use this one, I can just uncheck this uniform scale and then switch to Y to a negative value instead. And I will flip this guardrail. And then I can change my settings. And if you're using blocks with or fence or rails or stuff like that, you can also see the delta values for the block in here. So you've got X, Y, and Z value. So here I can see this is 4 meter long and 0.26 wide, and max elevation from insertion point is 1.15. So if you are unsure, you can always check this box and see what value you should put here in interval. Because if I put the wrong interval here, if I put 6 instead of 4, I'll get this gap between those. So I will use another method because I want to show extrude as well, and also to show you how you can use and combine those two functions. So I will import another template. I will use this guardrail straight metric. Just check I do a preview, see that I get it right. And then I will move it to the side, do offset. And I think this was a negative 0.5. Yes. And I will start this at 5.5 and end it at 144.5. So you can see it comes up from the ground there. So I have done all the change that I wanted to do, I think. So I had property set, as you can see, it's already in the template what property it should have for IFC export. So IFC rail guardrail. And I check this add property set as well. Hit the OK button. and get this dialog box for property. So I will choose this at property 1, and I will change. You can see it also remember the latest settings that you have in here. So I will change this manual text from road light to guardrail instead. And then I just pick OK. And I can see that it also adds property on this object. So instead of using blocks, I will use Extrude, extrude along path for the rail. So I pick that one, and then I choose the line once again. And we have also added the ability to import and save templates for this function. So you can do your settings and then just save them, and then you can use them again. So now I have created this guardrail underscore W. So, and when you import a template here, you can see you will get a question if you want to view the description text file for this template. So if I click yes here, it will open a text file where you can add, when you create a template, you can add a description for this block. So I just call this guardrail for webinar, and you can do like add whatever you want in here, just so you know, or your colleagues know what the template includes. So that's a real nice feature. So here I have my offset and add elevation and all the stuff that I want to add there. The only thing I need to do is to choose what start interval and end interval I want to use. If I want to use start and end, if I don't put anything here, it will just extrude along the whole line. And I can also add this IFC export as. See, I haven't added this on my template. But it's if I don't have it, I can check this box and then add a properties that I want to have. So now I could actually save this again as a new template with this IFC rail, guardrail, IFC exporters. So I can do a preview here as well. See that it is on the wrong side. So I will return to the dialog box and make a flip on this one. And now I can use preview just to do a zoom and see that it looks good. So I hit enter, and then I can create this. And if I want to keep creating this guardrail, I can just pick next line, and it will continue until I hit escape or enter. And then the property dialog box will come up again, and I will just pick this set property, manual text, and then I can call this guardrail as well. And I can also add road and alignment value if I want to. So, and this have a materials just to make it look nice. I will also add a material to the guardrail that I created. It's something. Wouldn't say that Civil is the best software for rendering, but it looks a little bit nice at least. So that's pretty much 3D Measure and Extrude. But I will also show a command that haven't get so much attention, I think. But it's very good when you are creating a lot of pipes for like electrical, optical, or whatever you are doing. And it's this one, Extrude by Script. And it works like this. First of all, I have put up my layer structure So I got this electrical 50, electrical 110, optical 50, and road light 50 that I will use for the extrusion. So I have these lines, road light 50, and if I select the similar, I can see what lines it includes. And the negatives 110, 50, and 50. So first of all, I want to get the elevation from the surface. So I choose one of each, and I just use select similar, and then I use this function. Also a function that should be getting more attention. This one is really nice, so start using this. I'll set this, set selection, set A, and then I will just use the command feature elevation from surface. And you can use this function on both regular polylines and 3D polylines, but you can't get the elevation relative to the surface. But we will solve that anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I choose this row top, and then I can check this relative to elevation to surface. Hit OK here, and then choose that I want to do it on multiple lines, and then I use this use selections at A, and all the lines will be selected, so I can just hit enter, waiting for them to get the elevation from the surface. And now you can see they are attached to the surface. But I also want to lower them, so I use select command, and then I pick use selections at A again to select all the lines. At least I was thinking that. Well, you can just pick them. And then I used to use a regular move command from 0, 0, 0 to 0, 0, 0 point, negative 0.5. And now you can see that all the lines are underneath the surface. So now we'll run the script on these lines. So
Zoom in a little bit, Martin. Zoom in a little bit so we see the pipes or the polylines.
you can see the polylines, and it's all the lines are individual. So I got a lot of lines. So it's all break between the lighting poles.
Yeah, but so you can see them under the road. Sorry, Martin. You showed it earlier when you showed me. It was so beautiful to see them update. So, or can't we?
Yeah, like this, or I can just change the code to style if you like to. Or how do you?
Yeah, or turn off the corridor.
Yeah. Great. You can also use this feature. Real nice one as well. Naviate on off. So I choose the corridor and just turn it off. So now we can see just the lines for the pipes. Okay, let's move on then. Yeah, I can show you where to find this script file. So you just go to help, and then we can use Naviate support file or open the support file folder. And you can find it in here. Naviate Extrude script. This is the template. So I can just show. You got these different columns that will explain what you should do in each column, and then you got 3 examples here. So first column, you choose if you want to use a polyline or a feature line. And here you can choose if it's a 2D poly or 3D poly. Second column, it's the layer that the polyline is in. So in this example, I pick the layer electrical 110 for that line. I will show my example later on as well. So here you just type what layer the line is in. Third column, what block you want to extrude. Fourth column, if you want to scale the block. Fifth column, if you want to do a flip, like I did on the guardrail for the block. And sixth column, what layer you want your solid to be in. So you can choose a different layer for the line and for the solid if you like to. And seventh column is if you want to add a render material. And I use Notepad++ when I do this, but you can use whatever you like. Just Notepad works as well. So I keep the examples. If the drawing doesn't contains those lines or those layers with those lines, it won't create anything. It will just create what it can find. So here I have P line, electrical 110, and the block is called C 110, and scale is just 1. I don't want to flip it, and I want the solid to be in electrical 110, and I want the render material to be by layer. And I have just used this as a template for my lines, and then I just keep filling them up. So it's kind of easy to use when you get a hang on it. So when I've done my settings, I can just run this script. Extrude by script. And then I can choose. I have just copied the template and call this Measure Extrude script C profile. Just click open, and then I can just select everything. And as you can see here, when I run this script, it tells me that it can't find the block C110. So the thing I need to do here is that I need to import this block to the drawing. And here we also have the block library, so you can save your blocks in here. So here I have this folder that I named to C profile, and here I got C110 and C50. So I just do insert and add the first block to the drawing. Run the command again and insert the C50. And now you can delete them from the graphic if you want to, as long as they are in a definition in the drawing. And now we can try to run extrude by script again. So I choose this extrude script, open, and we can zoom in a little bit here. And I just choose everything and hit enter. And then I just relax and look at a beautiful creation. And when it's done, it will select all the pipes, and I can see how they are created there. And now when it's all inside, it allows me to project them to both profile and section if you want to. So it's really smooth to work with. And another great thing with this, like in this example, I can see the 50 pipes are a little bit higher than 110. And I want them to be in the same height because of the bedding for them. So I can just pick one of each. You select similar. See that all those lines are highlighted or selected. Then I use move to lower the lines 6 centimeters. And then we got this Naviate Explorer that I can open. Just do a refresh here. You can see all my extrusion. Here I can also like pick one and pick select if I want to select that extrusion. But in this case, I just want to update all. So I right click on the top icon and choose update all. And then I just relax and look at the magic.
Yeah, so this tool can be used to create pipes in this way. Another way is to use them for curbstones. If you have a lot of polylines on a certain layer, curbstones, retaining walls, anything that you actually can extrude with the ordinary command. So this is basically just a way of scripting the Naviate Extrude command. And now you got the pipes lowered there, yes, or the pipe solids.
Yeah, and it's really nice. So if you're like having a drawing in 2D and you have a finished ground or something, you can just project your lines to that surface, and then you can use this command to script everything to solids.
Great, Martin. Great.
Yes. Yeah, I think they're finished there, so I pass to you, Thomas.
Yeah, we had some questions about label measuring that you mentioned, also about the fence settings. I will come and show them. We had some question about scripts. So when Martin has said scripts, it's not an ordinary AutoCAD script. So it's basically a file that tells the NV extrude command which layer to do which extrusion and how and so. So it's very easy to make it on multiple objects. One thing I don't think you mentioned, Martin, was the ability to copy two also, that we can, if Martin has created one setup of either the guardrails or the street lights, you can actually copy to another feature line. It's going to copy the same settings onto that one. And a question about blocks. The blocks. I think, Martin, that all blocks you've used are actually in the installation, Naviate installation.
Yeah. Yeah, you can use the like circle extrusion if you want to. You just need to scale it. This is just regular circles that I created that have a diameter of 100.
Yeah, the other rail blocks and
yeah.
guardrails and lights, and so they're in the installation. Could vary depending on language. If you don't find them in your language, please reach out to us and we'll make sure that you find them. Okay, I'll be taking over the screen share. So let's see. I'm gonna share my window there. And you can look at the last question coming up there, Martin. Okay, so I wanted to touch on the measure labels that Martin also mentioned. So I'm going to touch on measure labels. I'm going to show about fences that we had questions about, and I'm going to make a preview of the new 3D text command. And I think that if you're into 3D, you're going to love that one. Okay, so let's start with, hopefully, you know this command that we've had for ages to insert feature line labels on feature lines and removing labels that do not match a certain interval. Civil inserts labels on every vertex. If you have a corridor with stationing, varying stationing, maybe 5 meters, or added stations from alignment and profile starts, and so you're going to have a lot of labels to remove. We have that feature for the function add feature line label group here. And this one allows me to select the specific frequency or interval, and that's what happened here. Even though the corridor was calculated in a more dense frequency, it's only displaying the labels every 20 meters. But you can only insert labels at oh, my phone and so on, at a calculated vertex on the feature line. Using this new possibility, measure label set, I can select the feature line and I can use any. So yeah, I'll open, as Martin said, you can make the settings in here, or you can use one of our predefined, or of course you can save your own. So label from insertion point. So this is going to insert a label, and you can now enter any interval on this line. So I'm going to do a silly 12.4. So you see these labels here, those are the 24 or 20 meter interval. If I now do preview, you're going to see them appearing at 12.4 meter intervals, and they are in 3D. So it doesn't matter where your interval is, or where your stations are in your corridor. You can insert on any stationing here or frequency. So that's one of the options with this, allowing you to do well, more simplified labeling. The second thing I wanted to touch on here was Martin mentioned fences and when you want to make objects actually adapt to the length. So I'm going to try and hopefully be able to share this. So I'm going to run the measure command on this 3D poly here. And we do have an example here as well. Fence even by segment length. In this one, if I do preview, you see that one magically works exactly on the length of the polyline. And it's not because I draw it to match, it's because it has even number by segment length. If I do exact interval, you're going to see that it overlaps. If you look in 2D, we see it more. It's passing and then it starts there. It's passing here, so it looks a bit strange. But if I then set this even number by segment length, what it actually does is it adjusts the X scale, so they are a little bit shorter, and that's why they match perfectly. And I want to show the last option we have, which is interval by direction by chord length. What does that mean? Well, it means that it always stays on the line. So now we're actually using that fixed. If you go to the store and buy these fence pieces, this is how you will build it unless you want to saw them in pieces. So this is where it meets your lot border. So those are possible ways of doing this. Okay. Finally, then, let's go and look at the new 3D text feature. So most of you do probably not have this feature at all, unless you install the very latest release of 25.2, released in beginning of February. So this command allows me to project texts or labels. So we're supporting alignment labels, text, M-text, pipe labels, note labels. I think those were the ones. I'm going to start by doing stationing. Notice that we support station labels, major station, minor station, and station offset labels. Now I do have, if I zoom in, you notice I have a station label 180, 100, or 080, sorry, 100. So it's every 20 meters. Let's zoom into the road here as well there. And let's say we can start off with using a text style. I want to project them to a surface corridor top. And I'm going to have no offset, dxdy. I think I have the settings set. Let's do apply. You notice that we see the text appearing there. I can now, for instance, rotate them. I think I want to do 90. I'm going to change to a more interesting text style. Apply, and you see that one appearing. It should probably minus there. So, and we can change the insertion and so on. So those are a text style, but we also have a block library, which means we're actually going to convert these to solids. And if I just switch over to that one and do apply, you will see I now get, it takes a little time to do all of them. So now you see we have 3D text.
Thomas, can I interrupt you here?
Yes?
You are sharing just your Civil 3D, so we don't really see your dialogue.
Aha!
So reshare and just share your screen. Yes.
Thank you very much. I thought I'd shared the share entire screen. Better?
Yes, now we can see the dialogue.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you.
Oh, good
Well,
catch, Henrik, there. I didn't notice it either.
Yeah, I see you there. Okay. Thank you, Henrik. Thanks for reaching out. Yeah, so this is the dialogue. You saw the text appearing. I used this one option up here first. I have the option up here to select whether I want to use with major stations and so. So yeah, those are the values there. Let's now set that one to 0 and that to 1. Center. I'm going to erase them a little bit. Do apply again. You notice it now moves. It takes a little while to do, and it takes extra time when I do have a screen share on. I think you had a test recently, Caroline. You did. What did you say?
I did about 600 labels, and it took about 20 seconds. So
yeah,
quite fast.
Yeah, it is. It is. So this is the way, and I can turn on and off if I want to have this leader on. So, and I do have the zoom capability before I decide to accept the settings. Looks quite neat, I would say. And you can change the depth and so on these as well. And I'm going to do another way here. So as I said, we can do major stations, minor stations, station offset labels that's attached to alignments. I can also do select objects, and then we have, as I said, support of texts, M text, and a number of civil labels, note labels and pipe labels and structure labels, I believe are the ones we use or support. I think we're in here somewhere. So I'm just picking that text. It says crossing, and I want to project that one. So let's see what happens if I do the same setting. It appears there. Let's remove the maybe I should move that one even more than 20. There. And zoom. Yeah, so we can do all these settings like this. Okay, I think that I did show what I intended here, and we're 3 minutes into. So yeah, so and I think we answered the questions. If you have any questions otherwise, or any input, if you see things that if you just added that ability in there or something, please reach out to us. We like to get feedback of our features, and we do listen. We do change to the request that we get. So this is a specific customer request, actually, this 3D text projection. Okay. So Martin, thank you for sharing. Caroline, thank you for interrupting me. Henrik, also thank you. And the other ones, another Caroline and Juris. What do we have more? Ivan. Yeah, I probably missed someone. Thanks for taking part in the session. It gives more life to it. And hope you have had an interesting session here with us. And until next time, we wish you all the best.